was actually trying to think, is there a place where I can go film a bunch of flowers and stuff like that where you can actually fly anyways? I can't really think of any place. A little lost, these guys? Kind of neat little news I read. It says how Pokemon Go helped a missing man with dementia get home safely. Yeah, so apparently someone playing the game basically resulted in them finding a missing person. It says in the real lives of players such as Navy veteran Allison Hines, they're mostly a fun distraction. Hines, who plays the smartphone game Pokemon Go, makes it a part of her daily routine to check in at a Pokestop, a real-world location that gives her in-game supplies in Kennedy Shields Park. Every day I have to go get my silly Pokestop, Hines said Friday. Every day I go on this little loop. It's kind of funny because this thing was meant for you to get out there and walk, but actually there are a lot of people that go around with their cars and stuff, which kind of defeats the main purpose of it. On her April 14th visit, she found something new, a person who needed her help. Homer Howard, 83, had been missing from his Mainville, Ohio home since the previous Thursday, and because he has dementia, could not find his way back. Hines didn't know that at first, she said. Seeing his Navy cap, she smiled at him. He didn't smile back. That was odd, she thought. So because of that, basically she just left, but then I guess instinct kind of took over. He says, okay, something's wrong. And it says, stop, turn this car around and go check up on him, she said. She asked him if he was okay, and he replied that he was getting old. He was waiting in the park, he said, for his wife to pick him up. And then she said, do you know you're in Kentucky, she said? He didn't. He had traveled 30 miles from his home, and his daughters were praying for his safety. So because of that, basically, she, I guess, phoned the family member, and they were so relieved to find out he's okay, and they recovered him afterwards. And it says, I'm very grateful for Pokemon Go, she said. My goodness, what I loved about it is when I played it, it got me out in the community. It was a social game. Today, it saved a man's life. Well, I guess that's an example how, like I said, you just never know when different stuff can benefit different people, and it can help them in many ways too. Although this is a kind of a crazy example. And talk about taking down drones and stuff that came up in the news recently. How about this one? Saudi issues drone restrictions following palace incident. Saudi Arabia's Interior Ministry on Sunday instructed drone enthusiasts to obtain permission to fly the devices until regulations were finalized. A day after security forces shot down a recreational drone near the King's Palace in Riyadh. Amateur online videos of heavy gunfire in the capital's Kozama district on Saturday sparked fears of possible political unrest in the world's top oil exporter. A senior Saudi official told Reuters there were no casualties when the drone was shot down and that the King Salman was not in the palace at the time. A security screening point had noticed the flying of a small unauthorized recreational drone, leading security forces to deal with it according to their orders and instructions. I'm just trying to envision that. So basically it's kind of like they knew it was a recreational drone, like with the way this was written, but then I guess the instruction is shoot whatever it is that's down and they ever come near. So what they do? Fire like a couple of machine guns or something at the drone? An Interior Ministry spokesman said a law for the use of drones was in its final stage and called on users to obtain the necessary police clearance to use the devices for particular reasons in permitted locations, state agency SPA reported. Some pretty serious stuff. Makes me wonder if people would do that in other countries, like just say here, like even in Canada, if someone went up in the Parliament Hill or something like that, would they shoot it down too? Or like in the US, if someone was in the White House, would they actually just shoot the drone down as well like that with a couple of bullets? It does make me wonder how that would work. I remember seeing some kind of documentary before. I think it had to deal with people flying like a regular airplane over unauthorized airspace. Basically, if you're just like a regular guy flying, let's say, through the White House, then apparently all these security alarms and stuff, they go off. People with jets fly there to tell the guy, like, you know, land or something like that. So it makes me wonder, how would you do that with a drone since it's remotely controlled and you can't exactly talk to it, like to negotiate, okay, start landing. Like, would it make more sense in that case, okay, just shoot it down or something like that? That bird scratching or something like that? I'm so surprised with stories like that, how they don't have their own countermeasures, like maybe even just their own drones. I was wondering, isn't it more effective just to fly one, to attach something, I don't know, like a net or something, just grab it? Or I think it's a lot safer and probably more accurate than shooting, like, I don't know, small bullets at it. Looks like they're ready for a night shoot, I guess. Alright, see you guys later.